if you were living in certain specific suburbs in Montreal, okay, and we'll tell you which ones, in and around the Montreal area, cybersecurity experts are urging residents and the suburbs themselves. The administrations are urging their residents to change their password after a big data breach at GardaWorld. Now, this breach hit Code Red, the automated notification service operated by Crisis 24, which itself is a division of Montreal-based GardaWorld. Now, it's the service that allows residents to enter phone numbers or create accounts to receive notifications during major events. Think boil water advisory, fires, floods, etc. Now, the information used by the residents when logged into Code Red might have been compromised by cyber criminals. Steve Waterhouse is a cybersecurity expert, and he joins us now. Steve, thanks so much for taking the time.
Good afternoon, Joanne.
Okay, this is a big, complicated one. What do we know exactly about what happened and who this is affecting particularly?
Well, about 3 weeks ago, like you said, the company that manages Code Red, which is Crisis 24, got hit by a ransomware gang, and they got their systems compromised and making them inoperable. And by such, they were able to get some information, just like you mentioned, nominative information for the people who are clients of Code Red, and that spans around Montreal, but it's across Canada, and they also have U.S. clients. So their personal information has been jeopardized, and by such, the company did not pay the ransom. There was a negotiation in the back end. The cyber criminals were asking for $950,000, and the company did not want to pay. They negotiated a very small figure, but in the end, since the cyber criminals did not get their ransom, they just opened up the floodgate and let the data out. That means everybody who are and were registered with this service should expect to have maybe some elicited email that will come their way, and that's why the warning to change their password associated with that account.
Okay, this sounds like something out of a movie, Steve. So we're talking Côte Saint-Luc.
This is current stuff for me every day.
It's crazy that this is happening. This affects Côte Saint-Luc, Mont-Royal, Kirkland, and Hampstead, but as you said, across Canada. So this is something called, this is a cyber ransom. What do we know about, before we talk about the password change, who are these people? Do we have any information?
The ransomware gang behind this heist is INC, and INC has been behind very large heists like that, and it's $1 billion business across the world, Joanne, and this is ongoing, and it's been ongoing for at least the last 10 years, and it's increasing year after year. Why? Because there's a lack in preparation. People don't believe in saying, oh, it's too complicated to put a two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, which is another step beyond the password that will slow down the efforts of a cyber criminal to get inside of the system. Second, people sometimes are too hasty in reading an email, not deciphering if the information is right or wrong, and click on everything, which most of the time is the first vector of attack when someone gets an email, doesn't verify if it's legitimate, is from somebody who's supposed to write to the person or knows the originator, and then activate a malicious code, which once inside is able to jeopardize the operation of a network. So this is where this ransomware gang just goes out, sends billions, if not emails, like many cyber criminals across the world. And at one point, there's somebody who will fish on the email and get inside and ask for ransom. Sometimes it works for them, hence the number of dollars that pours into their direction, because the companies, the public or private services are not ready to prevent this. And in this case, with Code Red and under Crisis 24, they did not pay ransom because they were ready to recover their systems, which they did, and they're able to go on and continue their operations.
Yeah, that's great for them. But meanwhile, all this information is being compromised. Steve, we're running out of time, but I want to ask you this. So if I live in Côte Saint-Luc, if I live in Mont-Royal or in Kirkland or in Hampstead, right, what am I looking out for? Like, I'm changing my password. Correct. Yeah. That's the first thing. But what am I looking out for? Because these people are sophisticated.
Well, there will be flooding, most probably in the next coming months and years, your mailbox with unsolicited messages. And again, messages that will say, maybe it will be in a type of a scenario like, hey, we are that company that got hit, And for your convenience, please reset your password. Or it could be a scenario that we're associated with a financial institution. Just to be sure, please confirm your personal information. So this is where they solicitate the people to compromise, once again, their personal information. So double check that. And if you're not certain, call the original institution to verify.
Yeah, I don't trust any of it. That's why I have so many unread emails.
Me either.
Steve Waterhouse, cybersecurity expert, thank you so much for taking the time.
Seasoned gamer or just video game curious? This Week in Gaming is the podcast for you. We break down the latest in the world of video games, from basics to beyond. The hottest gaming news, insight, and industry leaders and more weekly. Join me, Naomi Kyle, and stay ahead of the game with all the latest updates, even if you're a total newbie. Stream This Week in Gaming on the free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.